I have learned to never say never. And the thing that I love about my vocation is that I have been able to do so many different things in it. And it's taken me places I never thought I'd go. And I've met people and seen situations that I never imagined I would see, or people I would meet. So it reminds me of one of my favorite quotes from Gail. I think it's from Gail Godwin. She said, "Something is your vocation if it keeps making more of you." And I feel like the career path of being a lawyer, starting out in law school, has and keeps making more of me and stretching me in ways that I never imagined. I would say I've had two distinct experiences of calling in my life. The first one was when I was in college, and I think it was after my freshman year in college. I wasn't exactly sure what I was going to do, and I went on a walk. My parents lived out in the country, and I went on a walk, and it was almost like I heard a voice, maybe it was a voice in my heart saying, "Become a lawyer." And so that was the first time. And then the second time was later in my life when I was at the U.S. Attorney's Office, and I was walking in almost the same place as I had as a college student, and I heard once again a voice urging me to apply to become a judge. And I would say, in some ways, kind of mystical experiences, both of them. I really love the human contact. I love listening to human stories. And as a judge, you get those in spades, whether in criminal court. I was in juvenile court where we dealt with child protection and juvenile delinquency matters for 7 years, or in civil court. I've had medical malpractice cases and accidents and all kinds, contract disputes, all kinds of things. So I really like the variety. With each trial, I feel like I become a mini expert in whatever that case is about. I try to put my faith into action in my work day by day, and how I treat people, and having integrity, and having the courage to make some hard and possibly not popular decisions. The decisions I made, particularly in juvenile court, when you're looking at children's lives and what's in the best interest of children, and do you terminate parental rights or not, and where do you place children, what kinds of services do families and children need, that's not something I learned in law school. And so those were really hard decisions, knowing that they would really impact people's lives for the rest of their lives. And you hope that you make the best decision, and pray to God that you do, but sometimes you just have to leave it. In fact, when I first went into juvenile court, both of our boys had gone off to college, and so my husband and I were empty nesters, and I would come home every night and tell him every story that I had heard, every case that I had heard. And finally, about 3 months into it, he looked at me one night and he said, "Denise, you can't come home and tell me about your days anymore, or I'm going to need therapy." Because the stories were so sad, so many of them. And it was at that point that I realized that I needed to learn how to be really fully present when I was at work and on the bench, make the best decision I could, and then detach from that and not carry that with me. And in fact, at that point, I got a spiritual director who I've been seeing since then. My work is such an expression of who God made me to be. that it's really deeply satisfying. I've had so many great opportunities to express what I think are some of the gifts that God gave me for communication and listening and empathy and being the face, a human face of justice to a whole lot of people. You asked me about a Bible verse that may most inform my vocation, and for me it would be Micah 6:8, which is, "He has told you, O mortal, what is good, and what does the Lord require of you, but to do justice and to love kindness and to walk humbly with your God." And so when I envision a perfect judge, that is my aspiration, to live out that verse.